Let me just adjust the camera just all right. And this is a live stream, by the way. I'm not making it like some of the folks have. This is just something that a lot of people may not know about. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. But I hope this video helps some folks who maybe I'm not all that. I mean, you should pay an icon for the New York Times right there on your web browser. That icon is kind of open as a window. So let's create. Now I'm using a 2-monitor setup, so the shred actually places it on my desktop icons go on my lower screen. So I'm just gonna this out of the way here and just move this browser out of the way. That's me. Hi there. And let's bring up this icon up here. Oh wow, it's a black background, so this really doesn't show up that way. Let me go into my Windows settings here. I'm in Windows 7, by the way. I'm just gonna color background, kind of a here. This will work. There we go. Now you can see it. Save the changes. And what Windows will do is this, because this is an old copy, and every so often it pops up says you're running counterfeit software, and so it changes it back. It takes any changes I make to the desktop and changes it back. But there it is, the New York Times. Let me get I can hardly see it on my preview window here. Here it is. There's a New York Times icon there, and it's a shortcut. Well, let me show you something else. Here's I'm going to move another couple of shortcuts on the desktop. Net are actual. If it opens up written for Windows, and it's just an app. The information comes in Spotify through the internet. It's a Windows specific app. It's written for Windows. So when I click on the icon, it opens the app right now, and it's opening it on the lower screen. Drag it up to the top screen once it gets opened, just to show you. Because doing video, this is not some horsepower, a high horse. This is an old. This is probably about a 7-year-old laptop. There's one reason I'm running Windows 7 on it, because that's the era that it comes. So this is a Spotify app. That's what it looks like. And it looks like the last song I played was Pete Townsend, "Let My Love Open the Door." It looks like I was adding it right here, because it's already about halfway into the song. But yeah, it looks like full screen. It's a purpose-built app for Windows, right? All right, so I'm going to close this down. This is paint.net. This is for Windows. I think it has the version for Mac OS. There may be there's something similar for Linux, but there it is. That's the app. This is a photo editing drawing app. You can get a brush and draw a picture, or you can edit photos, change the brightness, crop the picture, whatnot. But this is an app. This is not a website. This is an app. I don't want to save the silly doodle. So here's the New York Times icon. This is a website, but I created a shortcut in Google Chrome. So I click on it. I think this one will open no, it opened down here. I thought because I did it up on the top monitor. So this is the New York Times website, which loaded in fairly slowly a minute ago, so it may take its time right now. And you can see it's the browser without the browser address bar, without the shortcuts. It's just the New York Times. Trick with the Google. You hit the FLL full screen. So even then it tells you that it's a website. You hit FLL. I had it maximized. called maximize the screen. So it takes up the whole, you know, what's going on. You go full screen and it's just the New York Times, and it feels like a full screen app. This is a website. Gives you that experience of, you're just buried in the news here. You're just focused. If you want to read the New York Times action, is this, and so there you go. You can see it, and it's just the New York Times. You click on a link, and it takes you to that article in the, this is actually Chrome, Google Chrome browser. It's an article about Donald Trump's new team. So this guy, who is this guy? This just happened tonight. So this is literally news to me right now. Okay, so we know Brett, there it is, Brett Kavanaugh. It's right there in the picture, Brett Kavanaugh. Okay, so there's this again. This is you've got you for settings over here for the New York, what they call wondered why it's called a hamburger menu. If you're kind of puzzled about the menu, it consists of a top bun and 3 lines. I clicked on it and nothing's happening there. Just scroll down and tab, and it just feels like an app. This is the website, but there's no location. So I think from bookmarks, it makes it feel like it's basically, that's what it is. It's a bookmark that's kind of isolated within itself. I'm going to hit F11 and get out of. But let me bring another one up here. Okay, so I've showed you the Spotify app right here. This one's an app. You have to, if you downloaded the Mac version, wouldn't work because I'm running Windows. This is in the Google Chrome browser. This is another music app that I like. This is Google Play Music. But this is not an app. It's going to look like it opens in the lower screen. Put this on my upper screen here because they can also the camera and the screen is angled slightly, so that helps. But this is Google Play Music's website. Set up cut in Google Chrome, so that on the screen I've got this in right up here in the corner in it. It's actually this icon, just a smaller, or no, it's an orange music note. You can see it right. So it's a little music note. It looks like the icon for any other app. That's a Spotify app. That's a Paint.net app. This is Google Play Music's home. It's taking its sweet time loading. Jeez. Come on, Charter. You're embarrassing me in front of my friends. Here we go. And now, and then just all you have to do is hit F11 and go full screen, which I did. I pressed F11. It's doing something. So again, this is not some high-powered. This is old. Normally, I run in Windows for certain other. I have certain software that there is no other equivalent to that I like. This is Google Play Music, and it feels all you go full screen. You've got stations. If you want to listen to stations that are to the old song music, listen to some Van Halen, I've listened to the Clash. So I can that will play music similar to that. And then I can also and go to my music library. You can upload music and the music library. I've got some odd stuff in here that's unique to me. This is not downloadable. This is an old recording of my drumline in high school, and a program that they did. But then this is the alphabetical listing of the music. So it starts with a number is first here. And I've got some old little bits of audio. This is only 4 seconds long, but anyway, this is an app. This has the look and feel when you take it full screen. But even if you get it out, because it's a Google Chrome desktop short, you don't the location bar or the bookmarks bar, but you do still have hidden in the icon right here. You click on the icon, and in addition to the normal move, size, minimize, maximize choices, you also have the normal web browser controls and you can use Alt left arrow and Alt right arrow for backwards and forwards, Control R for reload, open browser window. Now, when you click on that, it doesn't take this into a regular browser window. It just opens a new copy of Windows of Google Chrome. Copy, paste, find, print, zoom. So all that stuff is going on here. The task manager for Google Chrome, not the task manager. So it tells you what's going on in Chrome, and I suppose you can click on one and in the process, but I don't want to do that right now. But yeah, so you have your options are available. You just click the icon, and they're there. As far as back and forth. So, but when you hit F11, it really makes it feel like an app on its own. It doesn't feel like this is a website. It feels like, because you've gotten rid of the search, you've still got a search bar here. This is for your music library. This is for everything you've got within Google Play. I can't remember if it was 25,000 songs, but rumor is they may do away with this. So I'm kind of worried about that because, I kind of depend on this. This is stuff of their songs in here that's available online, but there's a lot of stuff in here that's not want access to. Just kidding around, like the Alabama Fight song. It's always good to have that available on the internet, in your direction when you run into an Auburn fan, and you just walk in to somewhere like an office or somewhere, and that there's a couple of folks that are diehard Auburn fans, and you just have that on the ready on your data plan, and you walk in, you hit the play button, and then that's always a good thing to have. This is not foreplay. This is not album version. This is what song is this? I forgot what it's called. There was a radio edit and an album version, and I uploaded the album version. Jeez. After the dance, I think is sports at the info. And you go into that, and then it gives you the song info. And fortunately, they've caught what it will offer suggestions. This is another little for Google Music. If you've uploaded a song into your Google Music library and you've at least got the song and artist, they will sometimes, if you don't have album cover artwork, they'll have suggested artwork, they know that it's after the dance, which it is. And all you have to do is click use suggestions, and boom, I've got more appropriate artwork because it's from the actual, which is better. And so I'm going to save that. Now the artwork has changed. Some of the stuff that I've done, Alec Baldwin calls Microsoft. That was when that phone call from Alec Baldwin berating his child went public. I took the audio from it and made it like it was he was calling tech support at Microsoft. And this is an old commercial I did for a place called Shoes for You. I did it as Alistair. It's, yeah, I don't play it. But basically, that let me see if I one that I uploaded by the group Free, the song All Right Now. And I didn't have any kind of album art. I just uploaded the song. Let me see if it has any suggestions. It does not. That's odd. That is odd. So we're getting rid of that. But I've uploaded several songs lately. Go to the playlist. And I'm because normally some songs I think they've actually replaced because I've taken them from vinyl and converted them to digital to MP3s, and then when it opens the suggestions, I accepted them. I think they were the digital versions of those songs. So I'm wondering, kind of. Here's my last added playlist. This is an automatic playlist. It just automatically, whatever you've added, whether you bought it or uploaded it, it adds it to this. So for this song by Angel, or by Fleetwood Mac, the song Angel, it brought up from the which I used. Let's see here. Let's get into that. So it brought up the artwork for the Tusk album. This is Tusk, which is probably what's available online. I had the actual Tusk album, 79. It's, I guess technically I remastered it because when I loaded it into my audio program, I kind of altered the EQ settings, but I did not save it at a bit rate of 320. So, but I used their suggestions and saved it. And so got the artwork from, okay, here's another back from the same album from Tusk. To edit info, and it brought up some suggestions, but it says it's from the very best of Fleetwood Mac, 2002. And it's Tusk. I literally have the Tusk album and a stack of records to my right, but just so I'd have album art associated. If I search for Fleetwood Mac, it brings up all my Fleetwood Mac songs. Here's Bob Silver, where I named the band. I think if I change this, hold on, ampersand, let's just see what happens here. Started out as a demo of one thing, and now it's turned into a demo of something else entirely. But let's just see. I changed because I think in the Google Play Store, that's how it is. And okay, now it's editing for. Nope, still okay. So let's do a little editing here. We're doing this video on the fly. I'm kind of doing this video on there's no date data or what. I don't know what that is. I didn't put all that in the title. So, okay, let's, we're going to get rid of this. I guess I'm saying we because maybe other people watching eventually. All right, so we've got You'll Accompany Me, Bob Seger and Silver Bullet Band. We'll put the album artist as Bob Seger. I think that may be how they kind of just put it as Bob Seger. Oh, this album came out I can't remember if it's 79 or 80. Against the Wind. Typing one-handed because I got one hand on the cursor on the mouse. And we're going to just go with that. we'll save it as that information. If Google gives us some suggestions, and it's like, you know, it's nice how it puts all this, once you fill that in, out to here. Let's just see if maybe we get a suggestion. It may take a few minutes. You can have websites that appear like apps instead of bookmarks. Instead of having open the Chrome browser, you can just click on your favorite websites. Here, let's get this one out of here. Let me just show you this other. And the day I did this, I had 2 notifications in Facebook. So my Facebook icon is called (2) Facebook. So that's because I had 2 notifications. But here it just looks like the Facebook app. And Windows 10 now has a Facebook app. But typically on a desktop computer, there hasn't been a Facebook app. It was a website. You know, you have an app for your phone for iOS, and for Android there's an app. There's an I don't know if there's a Facebook app for Mac OS, but for Windows 10 now you can go into the Windows Store and download the Facebook app. I had it. I kind of like the web page better. That's what I've used for years. That's what I'm familiar with. So here we go, using the Google Chrome shortcut technique. This is what Facebook looks like. You've got the Windows right there that you can grab and move around. But if you hit up little Chrome, hit F11, you see the screen. This is a slow system, full screen, and there is no evidence that you're on a web page. You just see Google. 4 words every girl wants whispered in her ear. And Holly says, got VIP tool tickets. And let's see, I'm going to post my 4 words is I washed the dishes. It's 4 words, right? Yeah, that is. Okay. Just making sure. Oh, and the period and not a /. I wash the dishes. I think that's the words that well, my girl anyway wants to hear that. I wash the dishes. We'll see what Holly has to say about that. Holly, you're on YouTube now. Congratulations. I don't think anybody can read that. This thing is, from what I can see in the preview window, is pretty poor quality. But here, this is Facebook as it would appear as a full screen app on your desktop. Screen real estate. It's all dedicated to, if in this case, fine. Canned turtle. I don't think so. That's a stuffed animal. Okay. Tease. Oh, I might order that and have it delivered to the house and not say anything. Okay. Okay. So there we. So again, the technique involved in doing this is. Let me bring this back up here. You go to Google, and in the settings over here on the upper right hand corner, there's these 3 dots. You click on those 3 dots, that gets you into the Google Chrome settings. You can do new tab, new window, new incognito window if you don't want anybody knowing about where you've been. You know, that's after hours websites like ESPN.com after dark. I don't know what that means, but it's like all of the scores have makes your favorite websites look like an app. Click on the settings button and you move down here. It says more tools, and there's a little arrow to the side of it. Well, when you move over that, it automatically creates a little submenu that pops out. And one of the sub items on the submenu is create shortcut. When you click on that, it takes this little icon that tells you what web page you're on and creates a desktop shortcut with the name, whatever information is in this tab area right here. It uses that. You can edit at any time, and it creates a desktop shortcut that makes that web page seem like an app. And you can rename. I mean, I can rename this newspaper if I want. I just put. I can rename it right now. Joe's newspaper. I have the New York Times logo on it, and it's still taking you to the New York Times. I can't talk tonight. Not enough caffeine in my system. But here we are. We're going to the New York, just like we did when we started this thing. It's full circle. And it's still there to let you know you're in a window, Chrome window. So you can keep that if you want it. You can keep that there. This site's got a lot of. That's why it's so slow loading, and it's yes, but newer computers have more power. A lot of slows things down. And I'm usually, if I'm going to a newspaper site, I to read the news. So they throw up a lot of video, a lot of ads that are going to all kind of animations. And play a video of the Supreme Court nominee. Go to read their reporting. I don't want to. I want to go see. I don't know. Yes. Or maybe they could have the New York Times video page, something like that. I don't know if maybe just a little box aside videos about the Supreme Court, Kavanaugh, Trump's announcement, reaction from various people. Just have that off to the side. That way you don't get bogged down with this loading in. This is you buy the New York Times on pin page had it this size on the front page. Does it? I mean, I haven't seen a paper version of the New York Times. Does the edition this huge ad page? Why is I know this is the free side. I'm not subscribed to have ads. Why does it have to be to the side here? Could you not maybe make this a huge? I don't mind having some ads in my web pages. Just get rid of the animations, make them put some ads down in here somewhere. Change out one of these articles for an ad there. And come on, New York Times. Everybody's doing ads nowadays. You may as well do it too. I mean, how many stories in the sports section are about? At this point, I live right next to a train crossing. Yeah. It's probably a good time to point that out, that I do live right next to a train crossing. Train, that big a deal. Yeah. So it's, living train tracks. There are houses near here that are right next to the train tracks that I'm sure will roll through. A little bit of a rumble, nothing more than that. With the windows closed, and that all open. That doesn't help. The windows really insulate this. But I'm sure those houses probably don't really have a problem when the train goes by. It just goes by. But I live like half a block from a crossing where the cars cross. And so it has to blast on here. And with the window up, that I'm just right next to the window, and the window said is half a block from. So we're talking about it look like an app and go. So I've got the bar up here. All I have to do is hit the F11 button on my keyboard. I've got another version of Chrome. I've got two monitors here, two screen down here, so I'm not getting that crap like that. I didn't want that, so I pre here out of the way. F11, and it goes full screen. No evidence that this is a web page. This is just the New York Times. It could be Ford. Create that custom email could be this way. Imagine all your folders, your through here, version of Gmail. You have add-ons that you can put over here. Google Calendar. I think there's now add-in on the side. One of the best apps I've ever seen. Daily. But yeah, so whatever website you use, you can, using Google Chrome, turn them into an app experience, so you can just focus on that. Like to read the newspaper and you don't want anything in the way, just go full screen and boom, paper screen. So there you go. But yeah, like I said, you could do this. I had Ford.com application. You can go back out of full screen here. Get that, and let's bring it earlier. That's just regular New York Times webpage. Again, you got you got an engine at the end of the train, so that instead of backing up, all you have to do is put that engine out of neutral and into drive, and boom, what it looks like a web page. And you can go full screen on this, but it's not quite the same as version. So just thought I'd show that to you. Here it is. Just another example. This is Ford.com, just the Ford company. You can go in there and you can create the custom car of your dreams. Oh, and I'm sorry, it's loading on the lower screen. And of course, they load in a ton. But you go F, and it's an app. And it actually go down here to create your custom dream car. And of course, it's telling me pick up right where you left off, because I created a 2019 Mustang and did the ruby red option. There was only two paint options that were extra cost, and one of them was the color I love, and that's that. So here's the EcoBoost Fastback. It's an app. It feels like an app, but it's not. It's a website. But it feels like an app. Full screen mode of Google Chrome and the desktop shortcut. So here's the color options. I can go black. It's called Need Green, Oxford White, Velocity Blue, Magnetic, Race Red, Ingot Silver, Ruby Red, $395. I gotta have it in Ruby Red. That's just Race Red is just race Red should be called Pull Me Over State Trooper. Pull Me Over State Trooper Red. Ruby Red is a little more conservative color. also the color that I happen to like. There used to have a color called Toreador red. You know what? Let me do this. Hold on, because I have a feeling these colors are unique to the Mustang. Let's see. Let's go to the SUVs. We'll go with let's just go to the Expedition. God, the Expedition starts at $51,000. Are you kidding me? Jeez. Okay. Well, let's go here. Bought my Expedition years ago, and it was not anywhere near grand. And I actually still have it because I don't like starting at 51. And then mine's an mine has a 4.6 liter Triton V8. This has a 3.5 and an Expedition. I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm sure the technology is better now, but even the EcoBoost V6 on an Expedition, that's a big vehicle. What are the options? Okay. All right, let's configure it. I just want to see the color options that are available for the Expedition and see if it's different colors. Ruby red, and it's $370 for it. Why is it more money? Why is it less money for a bigger vehicle? I would think there's more square footage to cover than a Mustang on an Expedition. Huh. White platinum. And then versus Oxford white, which I think that's what mine is it may not have been called Oxford white back then, but well, I guess we'll never see what Oxford white looks like. It's still loading. Let me go to ruby red again, because that's the color I'd wanted in. I had an Explorer in what was called Toreador red back in the mid and late 90s, and it was gorgeous. Loved that vehicle. They had a Mustang engine in it. Mustang in an Explorer body, which is smaller than the Expedition. Basically, the Explorer is built on the Ranger frame. It's so it's not really that big of an SUV, and you got a Mustang motor in it. Getting on the interstate was a breeze in that vehicle. That was so lovely. Oh, but yeah, so it's called ruby red now. It used to be called Toreador red. It has kind of if it's the color I'm thinking of, it has it's kind of a metallic flake to it. It really is beautiful. So I'm hoping that's the same color that they've renamed it, but it did have a kind of a metallic flake look to it, and it sparkled. Oh man, you get that thing washed and waxed real good, and you just want to park it in the middle of the street and point to it, say, "Look at this car, people." So that's why I like that color. It's a really impressive color. Now it's doing the Oxford white. I didn't even click. I clicked on that 5 minutes ago. No, Oxford white. I've had enough. I've had an SUV that's white. Still have it. Don't like the white. I want the ruby red. So for 53 grand. No, I don't think so. This is where you go. This is where you buy used. I'm just seeing if there is an option for the engine, and there's not. Is there not? 10 speeds. So this is how you. This is the gear shift. This is why I don't like the newer cars. I do not like. I like the gear shift on this vehicle to be on the steering column. In a car, I like it to be a knob down here. But this not a knob, not like a dial. This is a dial. This is how you adjust the temperature on a Nest thermostat. That's not That's not a transmission select. I hate that. This is, the guy that played Chekhov in the new Star Trek movies. That's how he got killed. They had something like this on his new Jeep, and he thought it was in park, and it was in either neutral or reverse, and it basically backed itself over on him. And while he got out to get something out of the way, in the back of it, it ran over him. That's why, because he had to dial in. He already had the car in reverse, and he realized there was something behind the car, so he stopped, thought that he put it in the right thing, and it just kept on rolling once he got out, and ran over him. And so, yeah, that guy is dead now because of this kind of junk. You build cars for 100 years, literally 100 years of building cars, and you had a gear shift, and now it's the 21st century. Now we're going to have cars where you dial in your selection. No, wrong. You stick with what works. I mean, they've been making books since the 1500s, since when Gutenberg figured out the printing press. Did they change books because it's the 21st century? I know we have ebooks now, but we still have regular books. There's still bookstores. And the way that books, you have print on a page and it's bound to a cover, because that's how books work. We've been doing books for centuries the same way. Is it too much to ask the transmissions on cars be functional the way that, they've always been functional? You can make the gear shift smaller if it's on the steering column, kind of less obtrusive, but still make it a gear shift. It could be all electronic. I don't care if it's really shifting the gear or if it's just a selector that fools me into thinking I'm shifting the gear and it's actually all doing it electronically. Doesn't matter. Make it look like gear shifters of old. Put it on the steering column, put it on a knob in the middle, a stick in the middle. It can still be electronic underneath. Oh man, it irks me. Not even part of what I'm doing this for. Not even a fraction of what I was doing this for. This is so you can App-ify your favorite websites in Google Chrome. Sorry for the various diversions along the way. I'm going to end this now. Hope you get something out of this video. Hope my diversions were at least mildly entertaining. And so now I'm just going to click the end stream button, and like always, it doesn't end the stream because apparently tech companies think you're idiots. You have to click a second button. Hold on. Okay, let's do this. I can drag this up here on the screen, and you can see big red button. The words end stream on the big red button. So I would think at least rephrase the question. You've clicked that. Are you sure you want to end your stream? I don't know. I guess this is a better way of, I don't know. Maybe just put, did you mean to click in stream? Yes, no. Because you could bump, I suppose you could be flying around with the mouse and click where you meant to click here, you click here. So it could be accidental, So just say, are you sure? Did you mean to click in stream? Yes. But this just makes me feel like you think I'm an idiot. Like, well, you don't want to end your stream yet. Are you sure when you click that big red button that says end stream that that's what you wanted to do? Because, it is, easy to miss. It's a big red button that says end stream. That should end the stream. But no, I have to go through this. So now we're going to end the stream. Good night. Goodbye. And best wishes.